debate. I don't make mistakes, I just make my case. Drop mic when I'm done. What more can I say? Not bite to my tongue. I don't like the taste. I'm on and I'm on and I own my opponent. I'm always in the zone, either zoned out of zone, and then we could get it poppin'. Pick the topic if you want to skip and Shannon, skip the hoppin'. Took these sports and made them pop it. All right, undisputed.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp. Happy New Year, guys.
Yeah. Happy New Year, Jenny.
It's the last day.
The last day we can say it.
Yeah.
After the day, you get side-eyed. Skip, before I go any further, can I bear with me, Skip?
Yeah. Where's your tie today?
I had one on, Skip, but I didn't like the way it was laid.
Really?
I had a bow tie.
Maybe it's Happy New Year because you're going to try to outdo me with no tie.
No,
That's what's happening here.
Skip, just give me a couple seconds. Can we agree with this in 2019? Look, if I'm not special enough for you to individually send me Happy New Year or Merry Christmas, stop group texting me. Do not, Skip, I was in a group text of 50. I didn't ask to be a part of this. I wish I knew who started this group text, this chain. Can we stop this, Skip?
I have no idea what
you
you're
don't get group
about.
text?
Nope.
I'm 50, Happy New Year. If I'm not special enough to get it
I'm not in your group text, nor did I send you a group
individual text?
Yeah, you didn't send me one. Where is it at?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you
have completely lost me.
No, I haven't.
What is your point? I don't get your point. I'm not in your group text.
No, I don't want to be in anybody's group text, and I want to know why you didn't send me Happy New Year text.
Well, I sent you Merry Christmas. But I didn't hear back. I didn't hear anything back.
I said Kate.
Yeah.
Kate?
Okay. Okay.
Gosh.
I got it.
The way these two start their morning. We have a lot to get to on today's show. Is Shannon starting to worry about LeBron's health?
Never.
And then we've got Skip over here. Maybe he's going to get on the Eagles bandwagon. We'll see who's at quarterback. Plus, Nick Cannon live in studio later. But we're going to start in Dallas because Shannon, hey, he's wearing some Cowboys colors. They are a slight favorite in their playoff opener Saturday against the Seahawks on Fox. Seattle beat Dallas early in the season, and in that game, Dak Prescott struggled with 2 picks. He was sacked 5 times. Ezekiel Elliott rushed for over 100 yards in the loss, and he sat out Sunday's game. But Zeke said yesterday that a lot will be on his shoulders this weekend. Let's take a listen.
I feel very good. Normally, after a real game week, I'm not really feeling ready to play till about Friday, Saturday. But, I'm ready to go right now. It's hard to make the playoffs in the NFL, and so, that makes the moment that much more important. But, I live for these moments. I love it. I can't wait to go out there and compete Saturday night, and I think this team is ready. Going into these playoffs, I'm going to have probably the heaviest workload I've had all season. So just great getting fresh and ready going into this last stretch of the season, ready for whatever they throw at me.
Shannon, who is the more important Cowboy, Dak or Zeke?
For me, it's always been about Zeke. I don't want people to get skewed because what they'll do, they'll look at the last game in which Dak played against the Giants. No Zeke, no Tyron Smith, no Zach Martin. Played unbelievable. But don't let that skew you because we remember what transpired last year when he didn't have Tyron Smith, when he didn't have Ezekiel Elliott. He didn't look like he did with the Giants. So let's not take one game and over-evaluate it, Skip Bayless. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you.
Spoken yet.
I know, but
Did I say anything?
I'm talking to you.
You start out saying people will say.
People.
Don't let it skew you or scare you. Maybe scare you.
I
is the
said
operative
people.
word. Oh, okay.
I didn't say people.
Yeah.
I didn't say more than. I'm talking about you.
Okay.
Because I know how you think.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we evaluate, we put too much emphasis on one game, and we look at what Dak was able to do against the Giants. And I thought that was the best game that I've ever seen Dak play. And he's had some great games. But I thought this, given the set of circumstances, with no Zeke, with no Tyron Smith, with no Zach Martin, for him to be able to, and Coop really didn't get going, but he found a way to get the ball to Jarwin, who had an unbelievable game.
Shannon Jarwin. His name's Shannon.
Whatever, Skip.
I renamed him.
Whatever, Skip Bayless.
Yep.
Michael Gallup played big. Alan Hearns came up, made some big catches. And so that was great to see. So I thought that was Dak's best game. But let's not get carried away. This is a running football team. Everything they do and everything they normally do comes off the running game. And that's why if you look at what they were able to do, what they win, Skip, 7 of their last 8, and probably 5 or 6 of those games, Zeke was over 100 yards rushing. He was also their leading receiver. So let that sink in for just a second. He led the league in rushing. He's the team's leading receiver. So that lets you know how heavily they rely on Ezekiel Elliott to beat Ezekiel Elliott.
Okay.
It's not a coincidence, Skip Bayless, that he led the league in rushing because they depend on him like the first and the 15th. They live game to game, like I live paycheck to paycheck.
Interesting.
Yep. That's what's going on. So, Skip Bayless, I know what you want to do here. I already know what you're going to do. You're going to start out 2019 just like you left off 2017, 2018. Oh, Dak is this. And I'm not taking away anything from Dak. But if 2-1 don't get this thing going, y'all gonna be in a heap of trouble. And I'm gonna come in here on Monday morning, Skip Bayless.
So, I don't care about what happened against the Giants.
Yeah, you do.
This game.
Yeah, you do.
About that. You know what? I'm going to start over here. I was going to start on this side, but I'm going to start over here because this really just flips my switch.
Well, what?
In this game Saturday night, there's this other quarterback named Russell Wilson that you just love. You think
him.
he's way up there, maybe even top 5 for you, right?
Well, he had a top 5 season
He had
this
a
year.
top 5 season, says Shannon Sharp. Did you hear that? That's on the record, a top 5 season.
He did.
So, Mr. Sharp, Hall of Famer. What team led the National Football League in rushing this year?
Seattle.
Oh, Seattle did. That's interesting. Dallas finished in overall rushing 10th in the NFL.
Right.
Yet you constantly denigrate and discount my quarterback, Dak Prescott, because you say he's completely dependent on his run game that features only Ezekiel Elliott, right?
Who led the league in rushing?
But they finished 10th as a team. Seattle finished first as a team, but Russell Wilson is way up there above Dak. He's like out of Dak's league.
Yeah, he is.
But you never discount his performance by saying, well, he leans heavily on his rushing attack, right?
Right.
I never have heard that one time. That's all I ever hear is that Dak Prescott is a product of Ezekiel Elliott.
If you don't mind me asking,
why can't I make the case Russell Wilson is a product of the #1 rushing attack in pro football?
Because Russell Wilson led the league in touchdown passes last year. This year, Russell Wilson is 35-7.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to get to that in just a second. So would you believe that 7 times this year Russell Wilson threw for under 200 yards in a game?
Yes.
And Dak did that only 5 times this year. And Russell Wilson had only one 300-plus yard passing game.
Right.
Dak had 2, but that was for 387 and 455. So his 2 were way better than Russell's 1.
So why so few touchdowns?
So, well, I'm getting there.
Okay,
So Russell Wilson averaged 216 yards passing per game. Not very good, really. Dak actually wound up with 243, which is pretty good. It's like middle of the pack, but it's considerably better than Russell Wilson's. Yet I don't hear anything about that. And by the way, Russell Wilson recently won a game at home with 72 yards passing. If Dak Prescott had won a game with 72 yards passing, I never would have heard the end of it for the rest of the year.
Well, he's won a couple of, hold on, Skip. He's won a couple of games with under 100 yards passing when Ezekiel Elliott ran wild.
Well, this year, his lowest passing day was 160 yards in a victory over the New York Giants, which was way back in week 2 when he had nobody to throw to at that point, right? So you're right, 35 touchdowns for Russell Wilson, only 22 for Dak. But would you believe that Dak's, let's start with Russell's. Russell's touchdowns averaged 18 yards per touchdown pass. Dak averaged 27 yards per touchdown pass, so it was almost 10 yards per throw higher to score the touchdown.
Okay.
So I don't know, maybe they get close and Zeke rams it in from 3 yards. How many, would you believe that a third of Russell's touchdown passes came from under 10 yards or less?
The ball is,
okay. There are different ways to get it in.
The goal is to put the ball into the end zone, Mr. Bayless.
Okay, so as much as I love Zeke, and you know how much I love Zeke, and I'm so happy he is raring to go and that he got his crucial week of rest, and he should be even hotter than ever, and he owes Seattle because he owes his own team for what he did because he dropped a big third down pass that hit him right in the hands at Seattle in that week 3 loss, and it was a debacle of a loss, and then they almost about ready to get back in the game, and he had his biggest run of the game, 26 yards, and fumbled it all the way down on Seattle's 18-yard line. So he cost them twice in that game, so he owes them. And I'm with you. He led the league in rushing yards. He led the league in touches.
After missing a game.
And he did. And he led the Cowboys in receptions with 77, Cole Beasley's 65. But the bottom line to this discussion is this team will go only as far as Dak Prescott takes this team. And Dak Prescott has quietly turned into the most underrated quarterback in all of pro football, especially by the man sitting across the table from me. Because do you realize you just sort of just sloughed it off? You were saying, what did they win, like 7 of their last 8? Think about that. You've lost track of the fact they won 7 of their last 8 games. That's pretty impressive, right? 7-1, the back half of the year. So in those 8 games, guess what Dak Prescott has done? If you just take those 8 games versus the rest of the quarterbacks in the league, 3rd most completions belong to Dak Prescott. That's in the whole National Football League. 3rd highest completion percentage, Dak Prescott. 4th in yards passing over that stretch. Well, those are top 5 numbers. So is it possible that just over the back half of the year, when he threw 12 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions, is it possible that over the last 8 games, Dak Prescott was the best quarterback in pro football? I can make the case.
No, you can't make that case.
I can. Because he's high. He's way up, third, fourth in all the top
The great
categories.
Johnny Cochran couldn't make that case.
Well,
and he's one of the best, Skip Bayless. If you don't mind me asking.
So I'm not finished yet. I'm sorry. You can't take my time away because let's just do this. Let's do the 10 Cowboy wins versus the 6 losses. If you want value in the 10 wins, Dak Prescott threw 17 touchdown passes to 2 interceptions. Is that good?
Yeah.
That's driving force of those 10 wins. He averaged 262 yards passing in those and had a QBR of 71. That's in the 10 wins. Now let's look at the 6 losses. He had 5 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. He threw for only 211 yards a game, and his QBR was all the way down at 30 in 6 losses. So 71 QBR in the 10 wins, 30 in the 6 losses. Yeah. It just shows you that the quarterback is more valuable than running back. If for nothing else, the position is so much more valuable, and he was playing the position at a top 5 level over the last half of the year.
That's what gets teams in trouble because they value that position and they put anybody in that position and says, well, you know what, if we pay
they can't find anybody.
Let me ask you this, Skip Bayless. Take out the last game Zeke didn't play. Where was Zeke in rush yards in those wins over those last 7 games?
He was good. He was just over 100, 103 yards.
Yeah, led the league, right?
Okay.
That led the league, right? That wasn't 3rd. That was leading the league in rushing.
This is in an era in which most teams don't really feature one runner.
So that should let you know, Skip Bayless, in a league that's pass happy, that they've catered everything to throwing the football. Ezekiel Elliott in a passing league over the last 6 or 7 games had over 600 yards running the football. Why is that, Skip?
Well, it's because the quarterback was completing a lot of passes that opened up the run game, too.
Oh, really? That's what it was?
And obviously, over the first half of the season, Dak Prescott had nobody who could consistently separate at the wide receiver position. Am I right about that?
Yes, I'll give you that.
So that's why the numbers start to skyrocket as he finally has one capable wide receiver who can actually challenge double teams and make the defensive coordinator say, I've got to account for number 19.
It also helps that you have that number 19 that can help lift that safety, that 8th guy down in the box to get him up out of there.
Made it easier for Zeke to go for 103 a game.
Because guess what they say in Skip Bayless? We are not going to let Zeke Elliott run the football. We don't care who you have at quarterback. Because we don't feel he can beat us throwing the football. But we know if we let that 2-1 start eating and getting up and pointing first down, it's going to be a long day for us. So
once again, you have uttered that phrase, the quarterback who can't throw the football.
I didn't say
yet in the 10 wins, 17 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. That's throwing the football pretty well to me. And I enlightened you on Monday with 2 little numbers I'm going to throw back at you again.
What?
Over Dak's first 3 years in the league, his completion percentage is the highest for not accurate. That's the guy who cannot throw, right?
I never said he couldn't throw.
Okay. Well, you said he's not accurate. So how can you lead the world in completion percentage over your first 3 years?
I'm the only one that said that?
Well, no, I'm saying. Okay, I'm asking anybody. I didn't ask you. I'm asking the world.
Okay, what you want me to ask?
Because he led the world in completion percentage. He's 66.1%. No quarterback in the history of the league in his first 3 years in the league has had a higher completion percentage than that. How can you do that and not be somewhat accurate?
Or if you don't mind me asking,
right?
He led in completion percentage. But what about win percentage and touchdown percentage? Did he lead in that?
Well, he's pretty high in win.
No, never high.
13-3, 9-7, 10-6. That's pretty great. Won the division twice out of 3 years.
If you don't mind me asking, what was Russell Wilson?
I don't know.
You
I
don't
didn't
know.
know we were comparing that.
Yeah, but you keep saying.
Well, I just said that philosophically, you never dock Russell Wilson for having the #1 rushing attack. You just boost him. You say he's the greatest.
But Skip, when you have the #1 running attack and you throw for 20 touchdowns, what is he doing that's special? You told me Russell Wilson has the #1 running attack, but he's throwing for 35 yards.
Touchdowns.
We're going to get to a quarterback later, Jenny, who had the #5 rushing offense, who didn't reach his incentives. But we're not talking about that right now, but we're talking about that a little later. Yeah, you going to really.
So now I'm going to talk about the other little nugget that I threw at you on Monday, and that is that I don't know how this happened, but Dak Prescott over the last 3 years has the most game-winning drives in the fourth quarter and overtime in all of pro football. All of pro football. This quarterback who can't throw and is not accurate has that many game-winning drives. He has the most.
He has the most, but let me ask you a question.
How is that possible?
Over the last 3 years, does he have the most wins?
Well, I just told you, I don't know, I haven't added them up versus the rest of them. He probably didn't have as many as Tom Brady. Brady's the greatest winner in the history of pro football. Well, is he not?
You know what?
And you know what? Tom Brady didn't have nearly as much to work with as even Dak Prescott had to work with this year, and somehow he should have been the 1 seed. So there we go.
Don't do that, Skip.
Well, I just did it.
No, you should do it. We're not going to start off 2019. Like I said, we're going to get to him a little later. And you're not going to like what I have to say. But back to Dak Prescott, Skip. Every time I turn around, you try to heighten Dak importance while minimizing Ezekiel Elliott.
I'm not heightening. I'm just showing you he's the most underrated quarterback in pro football because so many people dug in deciding he just can't play. He's a 4th-round draft choice, and that's what he should have been, a 4th-round draft choice. No. That's all I ever hear. And all he keeps doing is proving you wronger and wronger and wronger. As time goes on, he looks better and better and better.
This is what I don't understand. Now, you made the case for the last year that it was the 6-game suspension and the threat of the suspension that was hanging over the Cowboys' head.
Well, it hurt him.
Why did it hurt him if Dak is your quarterback, if he's that guy? That should be...
That would hurt any team.
Why? No, it wouldn't.
Because from week to week, the running back was having to be in court all over the country.
What they got to do with...
having to be in court in Dallas and in court in New York. And after a while, it just wears out the whole football team.
That should have wore on...
Is he or is he not?
That should have wore on Zeke. Dak wasn't in court in Texas, in New York. How did that affect Dak if he's that guy?
Okay, so last year, Dak Prescott had the 4th best QBR in all of pro football. That's pretty great. He had 3rd best when he was the rookie.
Yes.
And that was only because he didn't play the last game. He played a series or 2.
Yes.
And it crippled his QBR in the last game and knocked him down to 3rd because he led the whole year as a rookie. That's hard to do. He had the greatest rookie season any rookie quarterback has ever had, including RG3 that rookie year in Washington. I've never seen a better one than that. And he plummeted all the way from 3rd to 4th in QBR last year, and they went 9-7 and finished 1 game out of the playoffs.
Okay, they were out of the playoffs.
Okay?
So I don't know if it's 1 game, 2 games.
Well, I'm just saying, and they lost Zeke for 6 games, and I'm not discounting.
That shouldn't matter. That shouldn't matter.
Well, you
losing
have to have
6 games doesn't matter.
You have to have a semblance of a running game. Russell Wilson certainly has a semblance. He's got the best one.
What about last year when Russell was running for his life and had nothing, and still led the NFL in touchdown passes?
All right, he's really good. And I'm not discounting him.
Yes,
I'm just
you are.
You never, ever mention the fact that he's got the #1 rushing.
That's all everybody did when he had beast mode. They never gave him the credit. Everybody talk about anybody can do that when you got beast mode. And so now he didn't have beast mode. Now they're in rebuild, and he still got this team to the playoffs.
So you're singing the praises of Russell Wilson, but on that fateful day, on that fateful play at the end of that Super Bowl after the 2014 season, you said the ball has to go to beast mode.
It should have.
Right?
Yes.
Well, Russell Wilson is the magic man. I think you can make a case he should have thrown the ball.
No, he should not. First of all, they should have, listen, Russell did. Russell was a good soldier. He did. He ran the play that was called. That's not, look, it happened. They've moved on. They never recover from that. But when was the last time, if I'm not mistaken, Dallas hadn't been in rebuilding since when, Skip? Okay, Russell Wilson's in a rebuild. Did anybody expect them to be here?
Nope, I'll give you that.
Okay, then. And why are they here? If they didn't have Russell Wilson.
Sure, he was really good. He also had the #1 rushing attack. Did anybody see that coming?
Skip, I didn't. It wasn't like they were, look at that offensive line. Let me ask you a question. You think, would the Cowboys be better or worse if Russell Wilson was their quarterback instead of Dak? And would Seattle be better or worse if Dak was their quarterback?
Right now, Dallas?
Right now.
I would say Dallas would be a little better with Dak than Russell Wilson.
Skip, you
Think
out
he's
your
a better
mind.
fit. No.
Skip, you out your mind.
Listen, you're not getting the intangibles. He is the leader of this team.
What do you think Russell Wilson is?
I don't know, because that locker room got really split. I think if we could put lie detectors right now on Richard Sherman or any of those Legion of Boomers, they'd say, hey, the leader of that team was not Russell Wilson because we didn't like Russell Wilson.
I get it.
Have you ever heard anybody say they didn't like Dak Prescott? This team loves Dak Prescott. It is not split over offense versus defense.
And I get
the defense loves Dak Prescott. That defense hated Russell Wilson and hated that Pete Carroll loved Russell Wilson to a fault.
So let that sink in. When you got half the guys that's pulling against Russell, he's still able to lead the league in touchdown passes, even when everybody, even on his own team, is not standing in his corner. And for you to sit across from me and to say the Cowboys would be in better shape if Dak, instead of Russell, was their quarterback, Skip, is just laughable.
No, it's not laughable. I just explained to you.
So in other words, you're saying
Seattle doesn't love that quarterback.
Oh, no. They got the guys out of that locker room that didn't love that quarterback.
I'm not sure about the defenders who are left there. Bobby Wagner.
You don't think Bobby loves him?
Sure.
Skip.
No.
I believe they love him. And guess what they did? Not only are they remaking the team, they're remaking the team in Russell Wilson's image.
That's what happens. That's what's about to happen in Pittsburgh, and it's.
Oh, okay. We were not talking about Pittsburgh. We're talking about. So in other words,
I'll take my quarterback. I'll take him. And I'll take him Saturday night.
I'm just trying to. just for my clarification.
He is the alpha in this locker room. He is the leader. He is the reason they are here. No, I give you that. But if you switch him, I'll just on intangibles. I'm going to take my guy. My guy is loved more by my team than he's loved by his team.
No, I don't care about that. Let me ask you. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Are you saying that Dak Prescott has better intangibles than Russell Wilson?
I'm saying that.
What intangibles?
I can back that up.
What?
Leadership. Leadership.
Skip.
Or playmaking. I just gave you the numbers over the last 8 games. Dak Prescott has played at a higher level than Russell Wilson over the last 8 games. Russell Wilson had a 72-yard passing game. Well, what do you do with that? Help me out. What do you do with it?
Did they win?
No, seriously, they won.
Okay, it is. That's what I do with it.
Because they lead the league in rushing.
He came to my restaurant. Skip, let me ask you a question. All I know is this. I don't know what type of leader Russell Wilson is. Oh, but that's a rhetorical question. I do know what type of leader he is. All I know is in his second year, he went to the Super Bowl. And in his third year, he went back to the Super Bowl. So I don't know if you can be a bad leader and do that.
And in those years, he had the best defense in pro football.
Whoa.
Right? One of the best defenses in the history of pro football. Am I right?
In his first 3 years, he had beast mode. He had a top 3, top 4 rushing attack all those years.
So
and
he never got the top 4, and he had number 1 in defense. Well, it seems like maybe the quarterback went along for a great ride.
Thank
you for that.
Hey, kind of like right now. Kind of like your quarterback going along for a great ride.
I just gave you the numbers. The last 8 games, I'm not sure anybody's been better the last 8 games.
Your defense top 4.
You know, you keep overlooking this, and it's going to
I ain't overlooking. I'm
cost you. It's going to cost you way more due.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, Russell. Yeah. I can't even believe that you would say that. That you fixed your mouth to say that Dak Prescott's a better quarterback than Russell.
I just backed it up.
No, you didn't.
You couldn't back up
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Nobody, because Skip, nobody outside of you and Jerry Jones think Dak Prescott is a better quarterback than Russell Wilson.
I just said he's a better fit for the team. They love this guy.
Skip, what can he do?
His team goes as he goes.
Skip, if you don't mind me asking.
They won 7 of 8 games. Did Russell Wilson just win 7 of 8 games? They barely beat Arizona last Sunday. They barely beat him.
Skip.
They were behind, and he pulled it out.
Oh!
Yeah.
A game-winning drive, huh?
Well,
I'm glad you said it.
Who has the most?
Oh, game-winning drive.
Who has the most?
Oh, game-winning.
The most over the last 3 years belongs to Dak Prescott.
You know why they got so many?
You just keep overlooking this because you dug in and you look wronger and wronger.
You know why
You're looking wrong.
You know why he had so many game-winning drives?
I'm sorry.
Because he put him in that situation. They shouldn't be behind to begin with.
We're going to break down Dak, other quarterbacks later in the show, but for now, we're going to leave it. There is a mess, guys, in Pittsburgh right now. Is Antonio Brown done as a Steeler? We'll discuss what's going on next.